double counter alongside Milotic might be just what you need in order to win big in Go Battle League, and today we're gonna take a look at this amazing team. So this line is gonna be one of the best ones to pressure your opponent, while it is gonna be kinda safe as well, and you're gonna see how safe they are gonna be because we're gonna test this team against bad leads all over the video. So let's see how well we can do against this Mac, because it is definitely one of those bad ones for sure. However, we can still reach to that final serve, but we're not gonna throw it, just gonna keep it for the end game, just in case they have a weird Pokemon at the back. Who knows, perhaps they have something like a Ninetales and we can take advantage of that. With that in mind, at the back, Vigoroth can come in pretty easily to draw something that Matcha might be afraid of, something like a Charmer for example, and of course now we will return into the battle with our Milotic, able to grab that final shield, so it's all up to our Matcham. How can we possibly win this entire battle? So we have to block the cross chop, able to farm down right after. Let's see what lies at the back. It is gonna be the Cofagrigus, and of course we can easily farm down the Mac as they're trying to catch over here. Let's go now for the Rock Slide number 1, and we are missing only one counter to reach to another Rock Slide to secure the victory and start off the video. Of course I went here for the crazy overfarm for no reason at all, risk it for the biscuit for no reason once again, but still we got the win, so I'm just gonna take it. So if you're ordering Ganeto, you have Dragon Tail or your Milotic, so obviously you're gonna have a very bad matchup against any Charmer. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially with my backline being kinda weak to Charm as well, but here is a Fairy type Pokemon, and I can't wait to showcase to you this battle, because this is proof that this team works super good. So able to go pretty rough on this Pokemon as well. Meteor Mass will be blocked from my side, so yeah, you got to give your own fight with Vigoroth if you want to succeed and still be able to reach to back-to-back body slams before they do anything weird here, so they will sacrifice both of them shields. With that in mind, I have some decent amount of energy on my Milotic, not gonna spend it yet. I want to go in with Machamp and try to completely farm down. Another Charmer at the back, this time the Shadow Granbull. Hopefully we can reach to the Rock Slide. I switched back there just to absorb the charm damage on my Milotic, and as it seems at the back eventually we have a very good matchup against Umbreon, so hopefully everything went pretty well for my team, and of course we can win over here with Shadow Machamp dealing so much pressure on this team, and we got hard counter at the back, hard counter up on the lead. Who knows what you can do, and eventually we can do a lot of pressure on the opponent because they have the Umbreon. So we found our common ground for the win con, so yeah, that can work towards our end. So into the next one now with a double up on the lead, kind of a bad one for us, especially if they have wild charge, and we managed to catch the big move on our Vigoroth. Now this double is gonna be energy dry, and we can definitely go in with our Milotic, nothing to be afraid of here other than the close combat, which I don't think anyone else is running other me, so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and pressure now with the serve on that Cofagrigus, and all I want to do is to grab a shield. Of course we did that, and of course do some chip damage so that we can put the Cofagrigus at a point that a Rock Slide might just do the trick. They switch out to the double. This is wonderful news for me. I know it is energy dry, and right before the CMP I'm just gonna press my own cross chop because I know that I can win even the CMP with my Shadow Machamp, able to completely farm down, expecting the Cofagrigus to return as soon as possible, and of course Rock Slide will connect for big and lethal damage on my future self. So into the next one now with another lead being super bad for my team, and we have to stay in with Milotic. So Milotic is a generalist overall. I really like the pressure that it does with Dragon Tails, and if dragons were a bigger deal for this cap, well, we could have much more of a good matchup against the opponents. So anyways, able to do some decent amount of damage with serve. They are gonna block, which is absolutely great, but we cannot catch the next move on our Vigoroth. This means that now we have to finish off the opposing Vigoroth as soon as possible, and to do so we need to sacrifice a shield. But now that I'm taking a weird look at it, perhaps we can take the bot slam. Yeah, we can definitely do that, and then finish off the opposing Vigoroth. With that strategy now, now we have 2 shields for our Machamp. However, they still have that troublesome Hypno. How can we possibly win this battle? Once again, we have to be pretty smart. So I will try and catch one confusion or even a move on my Milotic at some point, and that's gonna be the main strategy that I'm gonna utilize around. So Psychic here, we're gonna switch out to that Milotic to absorb the damage. We can do it successfully, and now we're gonna do one more counter before that confusion damage is registered. So we took the maximum out of our Shadow Machamp. So this is a race with a charge attack. We can reach there to the Rock Slide, and that is definitely gonna knock out a Lomomola, and that is a great victory. So this team is no joke at all, and if you can play it correctly, well, everything can work towards your advantage. Horrible lead scenario against an electric type, this time something like an Electrode, and we have to switch out to our safe switch, the Vigoroth. We're met up with a counter of our Vigoroth, and that is unfortunately another counter user, which is not gonna take super effective damage from my counters. Shadow Donphan, crazy damage output from this Pokemon, but hopefully now we can tank the next Body Slam with our Milotic and still be able to finish it off with ease. Right now we once again have 2 shields against 1, and to be honest, these battles are pretty crazy. Electrode now on the switch, returning into the battle, and of course we need to go ahead and pressure so much the opponent. It is gonna be the Ninetales at the back as a third Pokemon, so all of a sudden we might have a win con here, and I know that I have already a double Rock Slide which I need to take advantage of, so we can throw it, finish off the Ninetales. Perhaps they were expecting the Cross Chop which they could survive, and right now we have so much energy to spare. Double Cross Chop for the shield, for the knockout against Electrode, and Kanto vs Kanto, my Machamp is just gonna win. Into the next one now with Donphan up on the lead. Not the best lead, still not the worst, but under shielding they can always win this battle. So they can always reach also at the first charge attack, which is a bummer, and because I know that, I'm just gonna let that go through. I know I can survive at least one and then complete my move with the Surf, taking the shield out of play. Now I can easily go ahead and switch out to my Vigoroth, and all I want to do here is to pressure for that second shield, and we can do that pretty easily. And with that in mind, perhaps they do not have a counter to my Machamp, and even if they do, we can simply destroy them down with a Rock Slide unless they can survive it. So as it seems, they have a Mach of their own, so this is not looking that great. It all depends on the final Pokemon, to be honest, but look at how much damage we can still do. They can survive, of course, which is kind of a bummer for us, but right after we can farm down, and with that amount of HP, this is not looking that great. However, at the back there is the Umbreon. Everywhere is an Umbreon, and because they saw my Vigoroth getting out of the way, perhaps they were thinking, okay, they might have no other counter for my Umbreon, but guess what, we're gonna do that, and of course they will try to catch. We were expecting the switch. Right now we're gonna reach to the Cross Chop to finish off Umbreon, and that is a great game. Into the final one now with the Umbreon up on the lead. Speaking of the devil, here it is, the Moonlight Pokemon against my Beauty over here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and let it go through. I know I can survive even 2 of those foul plays with ease, and then switch out to my Vigoroth, because my backline can definitely work much better against that Umbreon than my Milotic can, and of course I have a decent amount of energy to spend at some point of the battle. So they have a Shadow Granbull on the switch, which is great news for my Vigoroth, and I can go ahead and farm down even though they sealed it, which is crazy. I cannot go for the move, which is a bummer, and at this point I'm just gonna go ahead, bring my Shadow Machamp into play, and of course I can easily go ahead and do a lot of solid work up against this Umbreon. They have some decent energy farmed up, but they will let it go down. At the back they have the Leaky Tank, and let's get this final shield with my Cross Chop up against the Leaky. This is looking pretty solid for us. I like how it turned out, because right now we can end this video with a freaking Hyper Beam up against this opponent and the Leaky Tank. Let's go, trainers, and that is gonna be a great game. Thank you for watching, trainers, and for staying till the end. Just be sure to leave a huge like before you go, and of course subscribe to my channel. With that said, I have 2 videos for you to check out, so feel free to do so, and I will see you all into the next one.